Asian Club is so great because I think we get such diverse culture at the same time,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then everyone belongs, you know, and
Yeah.
I think that's like the best part of all the cultural clubs anyways. In the
I
first
totally
place.
agree.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to a brand new season of Ignite, where we discuss hot topics from around our campus. We're your hosts, Matthew Taylor.
And I'm Gianna Bacchiocchi. For this week's episode, we decided to bring on 3 very special guests representing 3 very special clubs.
That's right. Today we will have representatives from BCU, LAC, and Asian Club.
And with that, let's get into the episode.
All right, to start us off, I want to thank you guys for being here. So I'm going to ask you to introduce yourselves real quick. Your name, your major, class standing, and your positions in your respective clubs.
All right, well, my name is Bryson Baird. I am a sophomore engineering major, and I am the BCU vice president.
Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name is Brunela Pimental. I'm a senior clinical psychology major, and I am social vice president at LAC.
My name is Ethan D. I am a senior this year. I am health science pre-med, and I am the president of Asian Club this year.
Awesome, awesome.
Nice. So guys, again, thank you for being here. We have so many questions. And our first is, how long have you guys been a part of your clubs, and how'd you guys get into it?
Since this last year, I was involved in BCU. I went to the showcase with all the booths and all the different clubs. I didn't see BCU's booth, surprisingly, but I saw engineering clubs, so I was like, okay, that's my major, I'll join that one. But then later on, I contacted someone that was in the club that's been here for years, and I was like, hey, how do I get involved with BCU? They gave me the president's that year, his number. I texted him and said, hey, I'm involved in joining. I went up, paid dues and everything, and we started doing service projects and different things throughout the year.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
How about you?
So for me, I've been part as a member from LAC since I joined Southern in 2021. And then last year I started helping like informally whenever LAC needed help. I was there to help set up or to be a part of events. And then last semester I joined as an officer, and it's been really fun. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. And Ethan?
So I actually joined Asian Club my freshman year also when I got here in 2020, and that was during like COVID time when all that was happening. And then I remember after Asian Night had happened my freshman year, they came and asked me if I wanted to be social vice. And then I was like, okay. So sophomore year did social vice, and then the year after that, they were like, you're running the events well, do you want to do vice presidency and like run Asian Night? So last year I ran Asian Night, and now my senior year I'm president now. So
Wow, congratulations. That's I guess you guys answered the questions of how you guys got involved with leadership, but how about you?
Actually, last year I wanted to go for the social vice president position, but only 2 people went for that position. And the other person, they got it, but then Ray called me up and was like, hey, Bryson, I think you might be better for the vice president position. I was like, oh.
Really?
Okay, sure, why not? So I decided to go in and try it out, and I met the president. She was amazing. So I was like, I'm totally down to be a part of this crew.
Yeah, it's always special when someone sees that in you.
Yeah.
So each of your guys' clubs hold so much weight and so much importance to you guys, clearly, because you guys hold special positions on your clubs. What importance does your position as well as your club mean to you?
I feel like as VP, I just kind of float around and help out wherever's needed. Like right now our president's sick, so that's why she couldn't be here. But
I hope she gets better soon.
Prayers.
Prayers, yes,
Praying for her.
definitely. But I had gone to some meetings for her, or when she couldn't fill in leading out different meetings, I would be there. Or for the life group, we just have our chaplain, and I ended up helping her out with that. So wherever someone else can't fill in, that's where I kind of step in and be like, hey, I'm here for you, I can help you.
Yeah.
Or just different things like that.
The camaraderie.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think for me, it's just that like Latin American culture, it's just so united, and you feel like a family, and that's kind of how LAC leadership feels like sometimes. We're all helping out each other, and then it helps like build community, and it's also like, it feels really good to broadcast your culture to the entire university. So it's just like that warm feeling inside for me.
It like creates like a family of sorts.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Ethan, what's it meant for you?
Asian Club? I feel like, so I'm only half Asian. I'm half white. So actually, like my whole entire life, I have, it's kind of hard sometimes because you don't feel like you belong anywhere. Being half of something, and I feel like there's a lot of Asians on campus or half people that sometimes like feel like they don't belong anywhere, right? And when I came to Southern, it was so interesting, like being a part of the Asian club, because you felt like you belonged all of a sudden. Like, you know, people like, even though it was only one side that was like recognized so much, it was like I felt like I had family, right? I felt like I had community. And so I think that's why Asian clubs stuck so much to me, and I feel like I'm so in touch with my Chinese side as well, that I wanted to make sure that if I was going to be in a position for Asian club, that I made sure other people felt that inclusivity too. You know, I want to make sure other people feel belonged, because I know how that felt firsthand, you know. So yeah, that's kind of why I think Asian club is so great, because I think we get such diverse culture at the same time, you know, and then everyone belongs, you know, and I think that's like the best part of all the cultural clubs anyways. In the
I
first
totally
place.
agree. And I'm not a part of any club, unfortunately. I got into an accident, so I couldn't make it. Otherwise, I would have been a part of all these different clubs. But I think it's so amazing, like the idea of building a community in which people can just become a part of. It's like, hey, you want to? Here, like sign this QR code thing, whatever, scan it, and like, boom, here's your family. And then you guys do such a great job of creating that family. So I love that.
So what would you guys say to a student who's interested? What are the benefits of being part of a cultural club here on campus?
Just what we were talking about, the union aspect, honestly, because every time someone comes to our booth or like a life group, I'd say, hey, you don't have to be black, you don't have to be Christian, but this is a union. So everyone's welcome, everyone's accepted. So no matter what your background is, no matter what your stance is on certain things, we're here as a family. That's the main thing. That's what I saw when I was first brought in. Like the first service project, I didn't really know anyone. And as soon as I got onto the bus, the sponsor started talking to me, the president started talking to me, everyone else, they was like, oh, what's your major? Where are you from? What type of like stuff are you into? And we went around the entire bus and just spoke about that. And it wasn't like an organized thing. They were just like, oh, I don't know this person. Let's meet them.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, kind of coming from what he was saying, it's just about belonging, and you don't have to be Latino to join. It's just like if you're interested in the culture, or if you're just curious, or you just like as a freshman coming in and you don't know what to do, and like, oh, BCU Asian Club, LAC, they're the biggest clubs, let me join that. And like, you're gonna be as welcome as someone from the culture, and because we just love to share. Yeah, like really connecting. I think it's more, one of the best things is connecting with other people, and I believe the cultural clubs give that opportunity.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think like just going back to, I mean, obviously, like I think I kind of answered your question before, but I think like the community, like the belonging, I think is like one of the biggest benefits. But I think like, and as these guys are saying also, with the cultural clubs, anyone can join, right? People can like get involved, you know, and people can lead out. They have opportunities to lead out, you know, like when we have Vespers, people can perform on stage, you know, and like when we hold events, I think they get to be involved in the activities, they get to just like meet people, you know, and I think there's like so many things that we enjoy that are Asian that we don't even like realize sometimes, you know, like listening to K-pop, watching anime, you know, like things that like everyone does, you know, and it's like, I think Asian Club it is a great position and is a great opportunity for people to like get exposed to more people that are like very like-minded, you know, and so I think, the cultural clubs are great at just getting everyone involved on campus, you know, doing more outside of academics.
And I think that like being with people who also share like a similarity in food, but also interests, and then being able to broaden that and invite more people in who might not be privy to like the same background. I love that idea. And I'm curious, so with each of your guys' different cultural positions in your clubs, how do you say that your clubs are different than other clubs on campus? Because you were talking about engineering, like what makes your guys' clubs culturally kind of different and set aside?
Having the emphasis on like the culture, what makes that different from the other clubs?
Okay, I think I have some idea. So I think sometimes we put people in boxes, or like, for example, like the Black community or the Latino community, the Asian community, but there's like so many sub-communities within that. And like maybe if you join golf club, like you're allowed to put it in a box because it's golf, like it's a sport, you know? But with like, if you're talking about a culture, there's just like so many divisions within it. And I think that's what makes a difference, because you get like such a broad, aspect to the cultural clubs, and you learn so much. Like, for example, I'm Brazilian, and then there are a lot of jokes sometimes that people do that apparently it's about all Latin America, but I never heard in my life because more like for the Hispanic speaking countries. I'm like, oh, okay. But so it's really interesting. Like even if you're from the cultures, you learn a lot about other ones.
It gives you like a little taste of like everything else. I
Yeah.
love
So
that.
it's not just golf; it's like everything that falls into it.
Right.
So you mentioned service projects, and I know you guys have a lot of the cultural nights. I have loved those, but are there any other events that you guys would say, or maybe those that have just been your favorite part of being part of your club?
Let's see.
And while you guys are thinking, just like give you guys some time, because clearly they do not know these questions, so they're learning kind of like the idea on spot. But when I first transferred here last year, I remember coming in and being told that like Asian night, BCU night, LAC night, these were like the biggest things to go to. And I was so excited coming here last year and going to like these events, and they were huge and they surpassed my expectations. They were amazing.
Oh, that's great.
So I want to hear what you guys think about his question in regards to that. I forgot his question. I just got so excited talking about the nights.
Just activities and
Right,
opportunities
that
that
we
have been
can look forward
provided.
to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really go to many of the activities last year. It was my first year. I just wanted to get my work done and just
Right,
sleep
right.
because my sleep
Sleep
schedule
is
was already
important.
awful.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that before. But this year there are a few things I'm actually looking forward to. And actually, it's our next event that's coming up. It's an open mic night actually. So
Really?
we'll be having
Ooh.
like different people come up and actually play instruments, do spoken words, different things that
That's
express
awesome.
themselves, and we'll be screening them, of course, just
Yeah.
just so they're like
Just to make
approved
sure.
and everything.
Yeah.
But
Pre-approved open mic.
exactly. But it's just a way that we are able to express ourselves
Yeah,
because
yeah.
culture is all about expressing yourselves and expressing your background. What better way to do that is to give someone a platform to do that.
So if someone was interested in going, be sure to check out the social media for BCU for
Yes,
advertisements.
yeah.
Check the Instagram.
Yes.
How about you?
I think for me, like other than the cultural nights, right? Which other events is that what you asked? Okay, so I like a lot the smaller events because we do a lot of events for the entire school, but we do some events that are like for members only. And I like those because it gives you opportunity to actually connect, because if you have like 400 people coming, you're not gonna connect to everyone because
Right,
that's
right.
impossible. So I really enjoyed the like smaller group meetings, but we also do have a very exciting, it's coming up in October. I don't have a date for you yet, but it's a soccer tournament and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, as he said, like just tune in for SAU underscore LAC to know the dates and how to sign up.
And again, that's SAU underscore LAC?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
I was trying to, you guys are mentioning your Instagram. I'm trying to remember my Instagram. I'm pretty sure the Asian Club Instagram is Asian Club SAU. And if you type in Asian Club,
Yeah, you should.
the
Can we fact
algorithm
check
knows.
this right
Yeah,
now?
the
Yeah.
algorithm
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
you're at
Hold on.
Southern.
Yeah.
It'll throw it up there, but I'm pretty sure it's Asian Club SAU. But for activities for Asian Club this year, honestly, I'm not gonna lie though, my favorite event is Asian Night though. I think like
incredible.
Asian Night holds a very dear, and especially after last year, I think Asian Night holds a very dear place in my heart now. And I just there's so much that goes behind the scenes now, especially
Yeah.
after doing it. Just like, oh my word, the time and the commitment. But I will say that the smaller events though also kind of are what shape the relationships. Also, like the big nights also do shape any relationships, I do feel. But we do have some events also coming up. I don't want to give them away, so I'm not gonna spoil all of
Okay.
them. But I know one that we're wanting to do is actually like 7 years ago. Actually, it's been a while since they've done this, but they did it for
So it's
Asian Club a
basically
long time
new.
ago. It's basically new,
Yeah, for
but
us.
we're pulling it out of the files, and they did an Asian Club camping trip for like over. It's just gonna be for like one night, but like people went out, they set up tents, they did like a giant vespers around a campfire, and they just had like a great time. And we're trying to bring that back this semester, so our social vice is working on it right now. So we're trying to like get all the
Awesome,
details, but you can look forward to that. Coming around the corner.
Okay, really quickly, I just want to touch. So Ethan was like a part of the entire planning process for Asia Night last year. What was that process like? I remember being privy to like a little bit of kind of the behind the scenes, but if you want to share what that was like.
No, it was an experience that I've never had before in my entire life, and it was also one that I will look back and I will never regret. I would say planning all of Asian Night took me around like 8 months to do, and I remember because right when Asian Night finishes in April, I started planning, like, because I already knew I was going to be running it the next year. And so June, July, I'm like brainstorming ideas, like what we're supposed to do. And I remember when I came back in August, I set up every Friday for an hour. I went to the writing center, and I was like, and there was one person, Michaela. She graduated from here, but we worked on she's a film major, and we worked on the storyline for an hour, and every week, and then ended up being like, I went to the writing center 2 times a week, and then all the way until December, I went to the writing center, and then even into the second semester, then we started editing the scripts once we came up with the storyline, and I'd written a storyline, and then I remember October, middle of October came around, I scratched the whole storyline. I was like, I don't want to do this. And so I rewrote which is what Asian Night is now.
Right,
I rewrote it.
Which, if I may say, was a very nice touch.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
And so we wrote it, and then we finished it, and then second semester hit, and then we started filming, and that was just the craziest. I also give big props to film majors now. I didn't realize that every scene that only lasted for like 2 to 3 minutes on the screen took around 4 to 6 hours to film. Every single weekend, second semester, it was either a Saturday night or a Sunday morning. For 4 hours, I was filming, and I'm not even in the film, but I was like the director, making sure that my dream is becoming a reality. And so, I'm there, and it took so much like time and commitment out of people's schedules, because like on Saturday night, people will dedicate from like 8 to like 11 of their night, or like 7 to 10 of just working with me, and they're not getting paid. And so that's the pressure, and the stress was so much though. And also every single person that filmed did it voluntarily, and everything was voluntarily that happened. And so that's why when Asian Night came around, if you watch the video, I was crying on stage, but
I took videos.
it was so much just because it was such a relief that it was all over, and
seeing it all come together.
Right, and just looking out into the crowd and seeing that Asian Night was not just me. I feel like I was just the puppet master pulling the strings. Like so many people stepped up to the plate to make that night happen, and just the fact that we can do something like that was just like so overwhelming to me. And like just the fact that people, because the thing is if people didn't support me, it means they didn't support the dream that I had. So obviously the fact that they were stepping up to the plate means that they saw what I wanted, and they wanted it too, and it was just like they must have seen something in me, and so that's why I love these people so much. And honestly, I've made some really good friends because of it that are very close to me now. But and then the day of, there was so many complications that happened that I don't need to talk about. But I was like crying like the day of. We were literally editing I don't know if people know this, we were editing one of the videos the night of Asian Night while Indonesia was dancing.
No.
Yeah, and then Carrie was standing there, and we were literally editing it. Indonesia was dancing. We finished editing the video. She literally approved it. We uploaded it, and then it popped up on the screen. Like the night of.
Yeah, you never would have known.
No, never would have known. But I literally, I was like on the floor, just like sweating, just like I cannot believe. Yeah, so much happened. So yeah, that was kind of just like the behind the scenes, just like a scratching the surface of just like how Asian Night was behind.
And that just gives like a perfect example of like community and how like that's so important. Because like you were the one who kind of had this whole mastermind plan that was so beautifully executed. But it took so many different people to align their schedules and their time to be able to pour into the same vision that you had.
Right.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, exactly. And it took one.
Yes.
Can I just make a comment about something that he said?
Yeah.
Like he was talking about like volunteers, and I think it's so important for us to be appreciative because we can't pay people, and it's like every event we do, and we're like emailing members like, "Hi, if you guys would like to help, like please." And then like we appreciate it so much because we have. Like for LAC, I think we have about 15 officers, which is a lot, but it's not nearly enough to like make everything happen, especially the bigger events. So I'm just so grateful for everyone who is like willing to help with just a thank you and free food. That's all we had to offer.
Free food.
So we've touched on a lot of things like mission service opportunities, the club nights. What are some other opportunities, benefits that people can expect if they join a cultural club?
Well, for BCU, we definitely have we have our life group, and that's sort of where we get to focus on the spiritual aspect of our members and our relationship with our members. As I said, that our chaplain and I were both like sort of heading that, and it's sort of like the union aspect.
Yeah.
So we get to focus on people's mental health, their sleep. We want to do some just like talent showcases and things that they could just de-stress over, like art, jam sessions, different just like things out in the student park maybe, and just like have them decompress maybe once a week, once a month, or
Yeah.
every so often. Because I remember last year when I was getting too stressed out, I would just set up a hammock in the student park and just take a nap.
Oh,
And it
that's
was
a
beautiful.
great idea.
It was so nice, and I got to become more in touch with God because I was in His creation, and that's something that I want to bring to the club.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How about
great.
you?
I think for LAC we have a lot of community service opportunities, which we all need at Southern. So it's
I'll
important.
be there for one of them because I need one more for graduation.
Me too. So we have a few of those. And if you join, you also get a very cool shirt. And
Ooh.
for our events, if you're a member, you get like free food. And if you're doing a fundraiser, you get discounts. So yeah.
I don't. I feel like my opportunities they're very similar to like these guys.
Yeah.
You just get access to all things Asian Club. I feel like the T-shirt, the food. Like if there's an event happening, only Asian Club members can go. You know, and like I was saying, I always go back to like just community. You just can go back to people that are very like-minded, very similar, and just like find people that you didn't even know were on campus that could be your next best friend. I always I always think the opportunity that's there is like what makes these clubs the best. You know.
Awesome. Yeah.
And so yeah, I tag along with these guys.
Yeah.
It's all great.
I have to say, I love hearing about every single club, like individually. Because even though I was a part of the clubs last year, I have to say, I think that the one event that I did go to, if I'm being honest, were the huge nights. I mean, granted, I think the best events that took place all year last year were the ones of each of the clubs. But I loved hearing guys' stories, and thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything that you guys would like to tell the students about your club, like a fun aspect of it, something that you love about your club?
And if they wanted to get involved, how would they do so?
If you want to get involved, go to our Instagram, again, SAU_LAC, and we have a link in our bio, and you can just click it, and you'll have all the information, information that we need from you. And a fun aspect, I don't know, it's repetitive, but just what we've been talking about, like connecting with new people.
Pretty much the same thing. The link is in our bio to sign up. I think it's _BCU. So that's just how you get involved. I think I just mentioned everything that I'm looking forward to, every fun thing. I mean, at least the most recent ones. Yeah.
Asian Club SAU
He knows it
on
now.
Instagram, y'all know it.
Perfect.
And also, you guys were mentioning, I didn't even mention it, but Asian Club is starting a life group this year too.
Oh,
and
exciting!
So,
yeah.
Our spiritual vice is working on it, and we're calling it the Asian House. And we're about to post about it. We have a post already, so you guys can stay tuned to like look for that. But
Awesome.
every week they want to do something different. Like 1 week they want to do like a potluck, or 1 week they want to sing. And so they're doing it like, we call it let's eat, let's sing, let's pray, you know? And so each week will be let's do something, right? And so if it's let's pray, like maybe it'll be like a night dedicated just like to prayer, you know, or like let's eat. Things you'll do, like let's sing, right? Let's all come together and praise. So that's something that they're in charge of. That'll be happening on Friday nights. You can, on the Instagram, we'll be posting about it. But I also think like what's so great about these cultural clubs is not only do we find like a community of family like with each other, but I think we realize that like we're all under the family of God. And I think like that's the most important message above anything, you know, because like without God, none of it's possible, you know? So I think it's nice to know that people can not only find their belonging with other people, but like find their belonging with God, you know, because I feel like we get so separated from God, you know, we all have identity crises where it's like, oh man, God wouldn't want me, like I don't belong here, I don't belong there, I don't belong anywhere, you know? And I think what we were able to replicate through these cultural clubs is that just like how you belong here, God wants you to belong in His family as well, you know? And so I think if that's a pitch at all for like our cultural clubs, I don't know what can top that. So honestly.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming today. We're going to pray for your cultural clubs throughout the year. We hope everything you guys do is successful.
Thank you.
We're so happy for everything you guys provide here at Southern.
Yeah, and I wanted to thank you guys for also taking time out of your very busy schedules, which I know every single one of you guys have a lot of things going on. So thank you guys so much for coming out, and we appreciate having you guys here.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
I think it's incredible that we have this many opportunities for people to get involved with cultural clubs here on campus.
Yeah, and if you guys are looking to join any of these clubs, you heard about all the different possibilities and opportunities that each of these clubs hold, so I definitely look it up.
If you guys enjoyed today's episode, you can find more of our content on our YouTube channel. the School of Journalism and Communication. And be sure to follow us on our Instagram @IgniteSAU for updates on upcoming episodes and more.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for this week's episode, and we'll be back for another episode next week.
Bye.